How should we get the best summer internships?
Stick to 2 to 3 things only, and whatever you pick up, do it highly meaningfully well. Don't try to do each and everything that is there in the campus. That is happening, this is happening, this is happening, that is happening, and you kind of are having so many notices on your desktop or laptop, whatever, that you're puzzled. What is it that I have to do?
These schools in general, are they really just about placements or is there more?
I don't think IIMs are purely about placements. Any IIM or any other premier B school says हमने ठेका ले रखा है. Absolutely not.
Would there be a day when IIM Raipur is equal to an IIM Ahmedabad?
See, a tree which has been sown during 90s, 60s, 70s, vis-a-vis another which has been sown during 2010, vis-a-vis another that has been sown during 2015. The height and length of the tree will differ.
Hello everyone, my name is Shlok, and if you are someone who has just started their MBA journey, this video is something you cannot afford to miss. Today we have with us the director of IIM Raipur, someone who has taught at XLRI at IIM Kozhikode, and we are gonna ask him some pressing questions, such as how do we get the best summer internships? When is it that the job market is going to improve? And finally, are IIMs all about placements? To know more, stay tuned till the end of the video. With that said, let's get started. Sir, yet another thing, the job market has been particularly sluggish in the last couple of years. That is something that pulls a lot of CAT aspirants, MBA aspirants, it stresses them out. So, sir, will the placements improve in the next couple of years? How do you see the market or the job market shaping up?
So, okay, you would agree that there has been a certain technological change. AI, ML, this, that and all of this has resulted in certain types of jobs going extinct and certain new type of jobs getting created. One has to capture what are these new type of jobs that are happening, and one has to position themselves towards those kind of, you can say, places that are there. I really doubt that number of, you can say, positions are going to reduce. Yes, it could be. It's like, again, I would say, in an age of 110 years, 1 over or 1 year, you might be kind of playing nice. You may play slow, but that doesn't mean that the remaining 109 9 overs or 9 years you're kind of going to waste. Number one part. Second, a good, intelligent, and sincere person with learning agility, I have never seen that they are not getting placed. What I'm indirectly trying to say is, okay, fine, you are not having, let's say that a candidate X, maybe I would say, let me take myself as a candidate who is there. I am not getting placed. I have tried a few places. What should I do? A very simple thing I can do is approach a reasonably good corporate and say, can I do internship in your place for 6 months under a good manager? There are ways and means of working out and learning also and making use of that particular situation. It is not necessary that you earn money right from day one of coming out of your B school. A. B. I'm sure there are loads of such internships which are there. You just have to go and request and offer yourself and say that, look, I'm here to do internship. Can you give me an opportunity? And that too you should do in a place which is not your comfort zone. In other words, if I'm born and brought up in a place like Raipur, I should say, let me go to city X or state Y and do this. And I'm sure there are a lot of things which you will learn. And when someone sees sincerity in 3 to 4 months, don't you think that corporate is going to ignore? You would agree
Definitely.
that there is a every chance that you are finally people are going to watch you and make you out.
Definitely, sir.
Important to offer yourself for internships, go and latch on to one and work it out. Lack of placement doesn't mean that you sit idle.
Definitely, sir. And as you said, technologies are emerging, but are managerial jobs really at risk? Because managerial jobs, somewhere along the line, are based on soft skills, are based on the ability to manage people. So, are they also at a risk of technological change?
Nothing. You see, I'll tell you. Finally, most of the jobs have combinations of some of this. I agree. These aspects are a little more and some of the aspects. I'll give a small example. There is this boy who did a fantastic MBA from a good B school. I don't want to name the boy and the B school. He graduated in the month of, let's say, whatever, and let's say he graduated in the month of April. In the month of June, he went and took an internship in a gaming company. And then what he did was essentially that gaming company had a lot of deals. So he worked under that particular boss and manager and started looking at the contracts and documenting. And last 5 years, whatever acquisitions that organization has done, he started kind of capturing that into a certain. After 6 months, that particular candidate got a job and is doing good in the same organization. People are bound to recognize when you take up internships which are highly meaningful. So understand, in this case, you took internship in a place which is going to happen, which is going to grow, and you also agree that there are certain aspects of soft skills, etc., that you named, but also the person was open to learn and pick up something which is not off the mill and off the track, like being part of an FMCG or a banking industry, etc., etc. You took certain amount of risk and you dug it up yourself. You invested your time there for 6 7 months, and that paid off big time.
Definitely, sir. I would agree with this. And as we were talking about internships, sir, right after we get into an MBA program, the summer internship happens, let's say within 2 to 3 months, we have to sit for the process. So, sir, what is it that the companies are looking for, and how do we brace ourselves up for this massive transition that's going to come up?
I guess we've already mentioned many of the things, but has the person picked up something in the last 2 to 3 months when he was in the B school? Is one particular aspect I'd look forward to. And I would also have that as a criteria during my, let's say, if I were a corporate interviewing for internship. So important to showcase that you are a confident individual who has picked up a few things, who had used these last 3 odd months in your initial stint to take it further and to showcase that particular lessons and learnings during the interview.
So, sir, the host of things that we do at an MBA, which can be academics, there are MBA case competitions, there are committees, there are live projects, there are student exchange programs, sir. So, a lot is going on, and me including and every other student, we are in a flux as to what we should do, what we should not do, what we should prioritize. So, how should we
Yeah.
go about handling this, sir?
It's a very interesting world. I've also been through those journeys. I'd put it this way: in hindsight, the lessons and learnings are stick to 2 to 3 things only, and whatever you pick up, do it highly meaningfully well. Don't try to do each and everything that is there in the campus. That's a very important lesson which I often give during even my mentor mentee meetings. That is, in our IIM Raipur, we have mentor mentees. That is, every faculty about you say 6 to 7 students, and you speak to them and you mentor them. So this is something which we are extremely clear, and we keep rubbing it into them. Uh, I often keep saying that don't try to do too many things, and this is especially a trap which often freshers get trapped into. And I would request them to be aware of it. Second, every week go to your mirror and answer only one particular question. Am I doing what I have been sent for by my guardians or I have come here for? For instance, you have not come here for, let's say, X or Y or Z initiative. It's something you have to answer and realize when you answer yourself during a mirror. In other words, indirectly, it's like, what is one particular thing I should stop doing which I did last week?
Understood, sir. That will give us a lot of clarity in terms of assigning our time better, managing our time better.
Because in a good B school, there are thousands of such opportunities and activities. There is no dearth of it. It's like being on a treadmill, da, 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 da. That is happening, this is happening, this is happening, that is happening, and you kind of are having so many notices on your desktop or laptop, whatever, that you're puzzled. What is it that I have to do? Choose only 2 to 3 things which are aligned and which you're passionate about. Don't try to do everything that is on offer at the table.
Understood, sir. Understood very well, and gives me a lot of clarity as well, who's someone just embarked on his MBA journey. And next is, sir, some questions surrounding the new and so-called, let's say, baby IIMs of the world. A lot of people on Reddit refer to it that way. And there is a question in a lot of students' minds that will there be a day where there will be no difference between an IIM Raipur or an IIM Ahmedabad, and all the IIMs would be at par?
See, a tree which has been sown during 90s, 60s, 70s, vis-a-vis another which has been sown during 2010, vis-a-vis another that has been sown during 2015. The height and length of the tree will differ. Let's first accept it. However, if you give a tree which has been seeded in 2010 and give a lot of love, care, and affection and commitment, I'm sure you understand the way trees grow. They grow faster and they rise very fast. So brand equity does matter, ecosystem does matter, and legacy does matter. However, understand that some of these younger trees which are there are growing very fast because of a very committed faculty, student, and a culture and a ecosystem which is happening. It is for the potential candidates and applicants to sort that out. And I would also be honest in saying some of these old trees, maybe they are like slowly becoming older and perhaps some of the greenery is going down. You need to work that out.
Definitely, sir. And what are the steps that we should take to, match or surpass the older trees that have already been sown? Or is it just the time factor that will make things?
Time is one factor. Understand one thing. What's the culture of that particular place? That particular B school's culture, how is it? Is it highly competitive? Is it, let's say, something which possibly are the people inside the organization, are they having a shared vision? Is there a roadmap inside the organization which is going to take them towards that particular vision? Are you able to see it? Are there any trends of the same? For instance, if you got the same number of faculty, what it was, let's say, 5 years back, and none of the names are new or, let's say, happening, then you would agree that that possibly doesn't showcase too many star assets inside the organization or too many happening assets inside the organization. Understand one thing that B school business, largely speaking, directly or indirectly is linked to the number of star assets, that is, star professors and star faculty colleagues you have in the table, and how committed they are to contribute to the organization. Many a times you might have a great star asset inside the organization, but because of difference of opinion with, let's say, or because of some personal reason or the other, they may not be contributing. So are you able to channel it out? It's like many of these things are based on some of these aspects, and the softer aspects are there. One needs to make that out.
Understood, sir. And jumping on to my very own journey as well, I started my MBA this year, and ever since I have entered the campus, the talk has been about placements. How do we get the best summer internships? Are there gonna be what kind of placements there will be? How the seniors are going to be? But a lot of conversations surround the placements. So, sir, are IIMs or B schools in general, are they really just about placements, or is there more than what meets the eye?
Whether you want to be placed or you want to do your own thing, certain aspects like learning, network, etc., integrity, let's say, these are things which essentially are needed at every place, right? I don't think IIMs are purely about placements, and neither I would also go on to the record of saying that I really doubt any IIM or any other premier B school says हमने ठेका ले रखा है. Absolutely not. Of course, the institute will put in the best efforts, and I'm sure the candidate will also reap dividends of whatever he's been doing. But you should also factor in a certain aspect that IIMs are more about the learning environment and how much you give to yourself in that learning journey during those 2 years. That definitely can help in better placements. But I don't think that's purely about placements. I don't think our professors here are saying, we'll get you placed. No way. That is not at all the objective inside the ecosystem of any B school.
So I think, sir, the network, the learnings, and the long-term impact of that education is something that will be taking over.
Networks, learning, exposure, transformation. And as I said, more than 70% of what you learn is from the peers around, not what happens in the classroom. So how do you make use of that remaining 70%? What is the kind of talk you are having during the addabaji which you are doing outside the classroom? How are you making use of this? So is the professor putting in the right assignment and right, let's say, quiz and right thing such that outside the classroom you are able to have those conversations? You're forced to have those conversations.
Fair, sir. Fair, sir. This is an interesting perspective I get every time. Every time I'm talking to someone who brings so much experience. And that's about it from my side, sir. Thank you so much. And I couldn't be more thankful since, as a student, interviewing for the IIMs, interviewing for the XLRIs of the world, and now being able to meet the directors of one of these premier institutes, are more or less, it's a dream come true for me. So I really wanted to put it out there and really wanted to be grateful for the opportunity, sir.
Thanks, Lok, and best wishes to you and other listeners also.